Wow, CNN. I hit the big time. How are you?
Good. Why don't you show us around your office?
This is it. We start with Spider-Man. Whenever anybody wants a picture taken, I come over here, put my arm around Spider-Man, my other arm around the victim, and we take a picture. So he serves a great purpose. This is our television set. This building doesn't have cable, believe it or not. So all I do is watch videos on it for business. We have a couch for me when nobody's looking, I'll take a nap. And a couple of chairs for people. And an old Spider-Man pinball game, which I've had for 1,000 years. And that's about it. And my desk, you have to have a desk. A man needs a desk. And my computer. I see I have some email that I have to answer, so I'll have to make this quick. And that's it.
Show me this toy.
Pardon me?
Show me this toy right here.
Oh, we don't call this a toy.
Oh.
This is a very important art object that somebody sent me years ago. I think it's really as cute as hell. I love it. So I keep it around. I have it facing out so the guests can get the proper flavor and satisfaction and enjoyment from it.
And I see you have the Silver Surfer behind you. Is that one of your favorites?
A friend of mine named Burton Morris, a fine contemporary artist, he did that. And I love it. I just love it. And then I got that in China when I was in Beijing. The top cardiologist or cartographer or whatever you call people who do writing things, he did that for me. I have no idea what it says, but I understand it's very impressive.
And when you meet with presidents, what do they ask you?
What, say that again?
When you meet with presidents of the United States, what do they ask you?
Oh, well, I'll tell you a funny thing about that. This photo here, if you can see it, it's me with President Bush laughing. What happened was I received an award from him, along with a few other people. One of them was, what's the name of the girl who was in all those movies with Errol Flynn? Olivia de Havilland. And when he gave her her little award, he put a little ribbon around her neck with the gold thing. He gave her a little kiss on the cheek, which was nice. Then it was my turn. And when I came up to him, I said, I'm not going to have to kiss you on the cheek, am I? And he burst out laughing, and I burst out laughing, and that's when they took the picture.
Thanks for the tour. This is CNN reporter Chris Morrow behind the camera with one of America's most prolific storytellers, Stan Lee. Hello.
Hello there. I like that introduction.
What's the difference? What's the biggest difference between heroes and villains psychologically?
Between what, dear?
Heroes and villains.
Oh, the difference between heroes and villains. Well, the heroes are the good guys. The villains are the ones you're not supposed to like, and you're supposed to hope that the hero beats the villain. But of course, most people, including me, we usually make the villains so interesting and so colorful that you never really want to see them totally vanish. You'd like them to be defeated temporarily and come back again for another fight.
What questions do people ask you the most?
Most people say, who's your favorite character, of all your characters? And the second favorite question, not favorite, the second most commonly asked question is, if you had a superpower, what superpower would you want? People are always asking me, who's your favorite character and what superpower would you want?
Is that what generated your TV show about the real people having superpowers?
In a way, maybe it is.
And when you were... Who was your first hero? Was it Errol Flynn?
My first hero was definitely Errol Flynn on the big screen. I mean, he used to beat up all the bad guys, and he did it with a smile. And he just had a great personality. And when I would leave the theater, I'd be about 10 years old, I don't know. I would look for some little girl that a bully was picking on so I could come to her aid, just like Errol Flynn would have done.
Back in the day in the bullpen, you would complete a magazine every single day. Do you miss that?
No, because it was a lot of hard work. No, I do. What I miss was the camaraderie. I mean, being with all the artists and some editors and writers and production men. And we were a small staff, but we all loved what we did. And it was exciting and it was fun. And we never had any idea that sometime in the future we'd be interviewed by CNN.
Well, in 1961, it was a game changer for you, Fantastic Four.
No, it was 62, I think.
62.
Something like that, 61 or 2 in there. Yeah, the Fantastic Four was the first group of heroes we did where I wanted to do them in a different way. I wanted their personal lives to be as important as their superhero lives. I wanted their relationships to be important. I wanted to treat it like a situation, a sitcom, rather than just a comic book series. And luckily, it seems to have caught on.
Can you talk a little bit about your writing process, about how you start your process, and what motivates you to finish it?
Well, the writing process in the beginning was normal. The years I had been at Marvel, which in the early days was called Timely Comics, I would write a script, give it to the artist, he would draw it, he or she, and that was it. When we got to the point where we were doing the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and the X-Men and the Hulk and the Avengers, I didn't have time to write all the scripts. So I would get together with the artist and I'd say, look, this is the story I want to tell. This is the problem. This is what the villain does. This is how the heroes beat him. And I'd give him a couple of other little thoughts. Now you go ahead and draw it any way you want, as best you can. And these artists were all wonderful visual storytellers in their own right. And they would bring me back the illustrations with a lot of ideas I hadn't even thought of. It was wonderful. And I would then put in the dialogue to make every story sound like a Marvel story. I had a lot of thought balloons I would use so that you could get a feeling of what is the character really thinking, so you'd get to know the characters better. Nobody was using many thought balloons in those days, but I peppered all our stories with them. And that's the way it worked. I would give the artist a concept, an idea, an outline. He or she would draw the strip. I would get it back and put in all the dialogue, the captions, the sound effects, and so forth.
When people say you created all these, great superheroes, a lot of people, when they first start meeting you, they think that you drew and wrote.
That I what?
That you would draw and write.
No, I never drew them.
Right.
What I used to.
People think that sometimes. Yeah. Is that difficult?
No, it doesn't. Most people know by now that I was the writer. What I did do, I was also the art director, and I would very often lay out the way I wanted a cover to look or the way I wanted the title page to look. And the look of the covers and the title pages was very important to me. In fact, the look of the whole strip was important, which is why, I was very lucky. I had artists who were so good that any idea that I gave them for a story, they would make it look twice as good as what I had told them. And I enjoyed working with them because, again, as art director and editor and head writer, I was really pretty much in control. But I had the kind of people working with that didn't need that much control. And it was a very pleasant and a very satisfying working climate.
Are you Spider-Man?
I wish I were. No, I'm afraid not.
Can you talk about creating the character and how you came up with the idea of sticking to the walls?
Well, I've told this story so often that for all I know, it might even be true. But I needed a new superhero. We had done the Fantastic Four. I think we had done the X-Men, the Hulk. I forget the exact order, but I was looking for a new one. And the big thing with any superhero, the first thing you have to think of is an unusual superpower. So I was thinking, what can I do? I've already got a guy who can burst into flame and fly in the Fantastic Four. I've got the strongest guy in the world in the Hulk, and on and on. What's left? And then I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I said, wow, what if a character could crawl on walls like an insect? So I figured that was it. But now the most important thing is to get a good name. So I went down the list. I said, Insect Man? Nah. Fly Man? Maybe not. And on, Mosquito Man. And then I got to Spider-Man. And it just sounded so dramatic and a little bit scary. I said, that's it. And lo, that's how Spider-Man was born.
Very cool. And the last question is, Your father said the most important thing to do is to do the right thing. Do you still believe this?
Do I believe that the most important thing to do is to do the right thing? Absolutely. The biggest problem people have, including me, sometimes it's hard to know what the right thing is. But certainly, doing the right thing is one of the most important things in life. I would imagine everybody wants to do what's right, except criminals or supervillains. But you don't have to worry. We have superheroes who'll take care of them.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Excelsior.